It was a quiet Thursday morning when I heard the sound of metal clanking outside my house. I peeked out the window and saw a woman with bleach blonde hair, oversized sunglasses, and a clipboard pacing near my driveway. That could only mean one thing: HOA Karen was at it again. I live in a gated community where the HOA thinks they run the place like a private military base. I'm a quiet guy, ex-military, now working on a special police task force, so I usually don't interact much with neighbors. My black Jeep Wrangler had been parked in my own driveway, covered and locked, like always. It didn't look flashy, just low-key and a little dusty, exactly how I wanted it. But HOA Karen decided my Jeep violated some aesthetic standard. She claimed the cover was unsightly and that inoperable vehicles weren't allowed to be stored in driveways. Never mind the fact that my Jeep is fully functional and used for undercover police operations. She didn't ask. She just assumed. That evening, I got home to find the lock on my Jeep's cover cut clean through, and the cover itself completely removed. The Jeep was exposed, and worse, a bright orange HOA sticker had been slapped across the windshield like some kind of warning. Furious, I checked the security footage from my porch camera. Sure enough, there she was, Karen, bolt cutters in hand, snipping away like she owned the place. She even called in a tow truck, but thankfully the driver refused when he saw my law enforcement credentials on the dash. The audacity. She didn't leave a note, didn't knock on my door, and certainly didn't get permission. She simply decided she could tamper with private property because it didn't meet her personal standards. What she didn't know, and what would soon backfire on her big time, was that she had just tampered with a government asset. Now, I wasn't just mad, I was on duty. You see, my Jeep isn't just a personal vehicle. It's registered to the Regional Gang Suppression Task Force I work for. It's fitted with special equipment, hidden compartments, and has been used in several undercover operations. That's why it's usually covered and locked, for security and secrecy. Tampering with it? That's not just an HOA violation. That's interference with police equipment. A serious federal crime. I called my supervisor, filed an official report, and turned over the footage. We decided not to approach Karen ourselves. Instead, we looped in a local officer who lived nearby and asked him to handle the next part, casually, but with authority. The next morning, Karen was out on her lawn with her clipboard again, chatting with another HOA board member. That's when Officer Daniels, a uniformed cop from our department, strolled up her walkway. He didn't accuse her right away. Just asked if she had tampered with a black Jeep in the community. Of course, Karen went full Karen. She said, "Yes, I did. That vehicle was abandoned and I have every right to remove it. I'm on the board. It's an eyesore." Officer Daniels smiled and replied, "Ma'am, that vehicle belongs to a federal task force. You committed felony vandalism by cutting the lock. You also attempted to tow a classified asset." Karen's jaw dropped. She started stammering, trying to backpedal, claiming she didn't know and that there were no signs on the Jeep. But ignorance isn't a defense. Daniels informed her she'd be receiving a criminal citation, and that further action could be taken depending on the outcome of the investigation. You should have seen her face. She looked like her entire HOA kingdom had just collapsed. Within days, Karen's story spread through the neighborhood like wildfire. The HOA board held an emergency meeting, not to support her, but to suspend her. Turns out, this wasn't her first offense. She'd tampered with other neighbors' property before, thinking her title gave her power. As for me, the task force upgraded the Jeep's visibility. They issued new tags and installed a special decal in the windshield to warn off anyone dumb enough to try this again. And yes, Karen's fine. Over $2,000 plus the cost of a new cover and lock. The best part? She had to publicly apologize at the next HOA meeting. I didn't attend, I was busy with a real case, but my neighbor sent me a video. She couldn't even look at the camera as she read her statement. Justice doesn't always come with sirens, sometimes it comes with embarrassment. So the next time someone thinks they can cut locks, tow property, or play boss just because they're on a homeowners association, they might want to check who really owns the Jeep. Because you never know, it just might belong to the police.